an architectural structure paired with manicured landscaping. Cool. And by no means is that a condescension of the subject choice, but what brings it further and what I appreciate and want to call to attention, you used certain language when you described that it made you specifically think of the barber pole.
Yeah.
And what I want to mention to all of you as it relates to either your portfolios or your future photography, sometimes it's really hard to step outside of yourself. That's a skill that really requires a foundation of understanding in your own personal tastes and preferences. And that's something that takes years to develop. And by no means am I trying to say that you aren't developing it, but as developed as your tastes and preferences in imagery and your social and political opinions, as developed as they are still very, very, very much in development. And what I mean is if your SI is requiring you to imagine what works for someone else, if you're making imagery that you think will suit the AP, or if you're making imagery that you think suits a certain genre, it can feel really forced. And I think it would be easy to try to imagine what you think is supposed to represent childhood imagination, but the success of your image and why it doesn't feel contrived is you used your own. And I know that
Order
might
filled.
sound like, well, of course you did, but it doesn't feel like it's contrived. It doesn't feel like it's forced. And I think by trying to tap into your own kind of playful kind of childhood or the childish parts of your personality, and I don't mean that as a bad thing, we all have a little bit of that, remnants of that. I think it makes a lot of these as successful as they are. And that comment about the barber pole really, I think,